This is not the circus. Today I'm going to talk about single leg deadlifts or one leg deadlifts. I'm going to show you the common way that these are done and why I think this is not a good way to do them. Then I'm going to show you how to do them correctly. First, let's talk about why you would do single leg deadlifts. After all, it takes twice as long to complete them. So this is less efficient if you think about the time it takes to do your exercises. And if you've watched my channel, you know I'm very particular about using very time-efficient methods to train. But from my experiences, there are three main reasons why you would use a single leg deadlift instead of the normal two-leg type of deadlift. Reason number one is you would use it to help address left and right leg strength imbalances. One of my clients was formerly on the national fencing team. And if you know the sport of fencing, they always have one leg in front and most of your weight is on that front leg. So his one leg was much stronger than the other leg. If this client were to do two-leg deadlifts right from the beginning, that would mean that one leg would be taking more of the load because the body is used to putting more load on the strong leg. This would mean there will definitely be tilts and twists in the hips, and that means more risk of injury, especially in the lower back. So, you would use single leg deadlifts if there's a very big strength difference between the left and right side. You would use the single leg exercises until the difference was small or gone, and then you can go back to two leg exercises. The way to do this is to always use the same weight and reps that the weaker leg can use. So for example, if my weak leg can do 50 kilos for 10 times and my strong leg could do 50 kilos for 12 times, I would use 10 times for both the weak and the strong leg. This way, over time, the strength imbalance will get smaller and smaller. If I did 12 times on the stronger leg, the strength imbalance would never close up. So reason number one, help fix strength imbalances by doing single leg training. Now a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by my team and I at Genesis Gym Singapore. For some of the finest personal training you can find anywhere, check us out at the links below. Reason number two to do single leg deadlifts would be if you're recovering from a lower back problem. The main muscles trained in the deadlift are the hamstrings, the buttocks, and the lower back. But if you've had a lower back problem or you're recovering from a lower back injury or you have a history of low back pain, then you don't want to load the lower back too much or too often. This is something we do with our middle-aged and elderly clients because sometimes they have degenerative discs, so their lower back can't take repeated strain as much. So you still want to train the buttocks and the hamstrings. So you would use a single leg exercise. The total weight on the lower back will be less, but yet, because you're only using one leg at a time or one side at a time, the load on the buttocks and hamstrings is still quite a lot. So you can safely train the buttocks and hamstrings without overstressing the lower back if you're coming back from a lower back injury or you have a history of lower back problems. That would be reason number two to use single leg deadlifts. Reason number three is more of a practical reason. Especially now with more people training at home and buying home exercise equipment, it's very difficult to get a full weight set in a place like Singapore where we live in apartments. And I'm very sure your neighbors in the building wouldn't like you using heavy weights and carrying them and dropping them around the house. It can vibrate the whole building. Trust me, some of our gyms are not on the ground floor. We know that it's very frustrating for neighbors, so we have to be very, very considerate. So single leg deadlifts are a great choice if you can't have a full heavy set of weights in your house, because you can use a lighter weight and load only one side of your body at a time. So all that load, even though it's not as much, is put on the side that you're working. So you can get a good workout on the side that you're training without using a super large amount of weights that maybe you don't have available at home. So especially for newer trainees and ladies, a good set of adjustable dumbbells will be enough to give you a good single leg deadlift workout. No need for a full set of barbells, full set of plates, and no need for super thick padding on your floor at home. So there we have three reasons to use the single leg deadlift or the one leg deadlift instead of the two leg variation. Now, I'm going to move on to the common way that you see people do this exercise. They put one leg on the floor, the other leg is straight, and they bend forward and the back leg lifts completely off the floor and sticks out backwards. Usually they're also holding one dumbbell or one kettlebell in the opposite hand of the front leg. Once they reach the bottom position, they come back up. I don't recommend this method because this is not the circus. This exercise becomes so difficult to balance when you're using a proper weight that it becomes a balance exercise, no longer using enough weight to train your buttocks and hamstrings, which is the actual goal of this exercise. As a side note, if you want to train balance, this is not the most efficient way to do it. Balance is mostly neurological. There's much more stuff you can do with the brain and nervous system to improve balance. Because the balance is so difficult, you'll focus completely on the balance. You won't be focusing on activating the muscles that you need to activate to do the lift properly, especially as the load gets heavier. This means that your muscles that you want to train are not getting trained properly. And if you're not training muscles properly, but you're just going through the motions, you're wasting your time doing exercise. And it's not best for your time efficiency and your results. So this is the way I recommend it. Very simple, put your other foot down. Put it about half a foot distance behind your front foot. Although it's on the floor, you keep it in a slight tiptoe and about 90% of your weight is still on the front foot. This way you can easily keep balance, and now from this balanced position, you load the front foot about 90%, then you grab your weight. It could be a dumbbell, it could be kettlebells, it could be a barbell. Doesn't matter, but keep that weight with the front foot directly in the middle of the load. So this way you can put all the load on the front foot and you keep the balance. Now you're not doing a circus act. Balance is not a problem. Now you can focus on activating all the muscles in the front leg, especially the hamstrings and buttocks, to get the weight off the floor. Now you're loading the front leg muscles correctly. To do this exercise properly, breathe air into your waist and belly so your spine is more stable, and tense up your entire waist. Abs, side of your abs and lower back. Tense it up before you start lifting. Next, you're going to bring the weight slightly back towards your body to keep it touching the body at all times if it's a barbell, and keep it slightly by the side of your body if it's a dumbbell. So you're using your lat muscles here and you're bringing the weight back towards your body. A good mental picture you can use is you can imagine someone trying to tickle your armpits. Then you protect them by bringing your arms down and back, right? So that's what you want to do with the bar or with the dumbbells. You bring it down and back this way. The reason this is important is to keep the weight close to your body, close to your center of gravity, reducing the strain on your lower back. Also, when you tense up the lats are connected across your lower back through connective tissue, and it further stabilizes the spine. For your head and neck position, keep a slight double chin. So don't look up like this. Okay, slight double chin. Alright, and then drive through your front foot and lift the weight. Your front foot, if you think about it like this, you should have your weight evenly distributed on the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the heel of the foot. That activates the most amount of muscles, which helps you lift the weight in the most efficient way. So you're driving through the front foot, standing up, squeezing your buttock at the top. That's one rep. Then lower the weight under control. You do as many reps as you need for that side and then change to the other side. Once again, remember, do the weaker side first. When you finish, match that same reps and weight on the stronger side. But some people ask, hey, if you do it the common way, but hey, here you're only putting maybe 85 or 90% of the load on your front foot. But if you do it the other way, you're getting 100% of the load on your front foot. Isn't that better? I always tell them, hey, would you rather have 100% of $10 or 90% of $20? That puts it in perspective. You want to use a proper load without the need for circus balancing. Then you can train the muscles properly, then you get the most bang for your buck in terms of time, and you get to get all the benefits of the single leg deadlift, which means you balance out your strength, you don't need such a heavy load, and you keep your lower back safe if you have lower back injury. So do the single leg deadlifts the way I showed you, and I hope you get even better results from your leg training. For more science-based health and exercise tips, please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more content for you.